I do want to. Yeah, Mr. Fresh constantly is getting fucking owned on the timeline. I think like that's their content now a little bit. Like I think they recognize that people see them as a villain and they like lean into it.
Men
you know
are
what I mean?
territorial with their women. It's been
And also, I think they just like they see enough fucking weirdos on the internet that agree with them, so they just don't care that like people are fucking shitting on them. You know what I mean? For those of you who don't know, this is a Fresh and Fit podcast. These guys, me and Ethan, were supposed to debate these guys. I don't know what the fuck's going on there, but like they're not great. They're really bad. They're just incredibly insecure. They are incredibly misogynistic, and I'm not saying that in like the I'm so woke kind of way. Like I mean, straight up, they're just they. If you have ever had a mother, a sister, if you've ever been around women and have thought about women as like a human being for even a fraction of a second, you should be able to spot that these guys are fucking way off the fucking I don't know what a terminology would be there in that situation. They're just fucking crazy. Like they're just straight up. They're like, oh, if you have an Instagram, I mean, here, you'll see. If your girl has an Instagram, she's cheating. It's like, dude, oh my God. And the thing is, like, every male group usually has a guy like this. They're way off the deep end. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Like there is a guy like this in a male group, and you have to fucking you have to fucking check them, and you have to like stop them from being this way. And I think like maybe there's some deep scars back there, right? That is causing them to be this way, but then now there's a financial incentive to continue acting this way, and it's like this toxic cycle. But they are straight up like they're fucking insane. As a matter of fact, they're so insane that it becomes humorous again. You know what I mean? It's not like as nefarious, I would go so far as to say, as like a Jordan Peterson, because Jordan Peterson has a really good way of like trying to intellectualize his misogyny, whereas these homies are just so fucking buck wild that when people see it, they're like, oh, this is crazy. Oh, you're like, I don't want to associate with that unless you yourself are literally just as crazy and psychotic. And you're like, yeah, women shouldn't have, women should not have an Instagram. It's like, well, luckily you're never going to be anywhere near a woman for the rest of your life. So don't worry about that.
in that way since the beginning of time.
You don't own us in a relationship, so we can post what we want. If you have an insecurity with that, that's on you.
Let me finish.
I'm letting you finish, but every time I let you finish...
You're literally cutting me off right now.
Yeah, like, I know. Okay, go. Go.
I'm explaining to you how men view relationships. You might not like it. It might hurt your feelings. You might say, I'm not a piece of property or whatever.
Okay, this is also, again, this is just a self-report. Like, he's literally like, no, this is how I feel, and every man feels like me, and there's a lot of people in his audience that also feel that way. But that doesn't mean it's right. It means it's something that you need to move away from, okay? It's something that you need to work on. Because in a normal situation, and I hope that many of you are like this, if a friend of yours was behaving this way, you're going to be like, dude, what is going on? Fucking calm down, brother. You are saying some really crazy shit right now. Like, that's not... that's not normal. Like the way you're feeling right now, don't be a fucking snowflake, okay? Don't be a little pussy. Here's some fucking hard to swallow pills, okay? Here's some cold hard truths for you, but you are behaving in a deeply insecure and bitch-made ass manner, okay? You need to fucking dial it back and not think the way that you do, and re-examine what steps led you to come to that conclusion that you feel like you have any ownership over whoever the fuck you are dating. Okay? Because this is unhinged. It's deranged.
But with all due respect, your feelings. This is
your feelings. I don't care about your feelings either.
Imagine a white racist dude explaining to him how he feels about him. Me, I'm the white racist dude. You're pulling the race card, dude. This what's going on right now. Or are you saying that it's like him explaining to a woman is like, you're saying that him explaining how he feels about women to a woman is the same as like a racist person explaining to him. Okay, got it. No. I misunderstood what he was saying. I think he's making a comparison, saying, but I don't think he would understand that at all, for the record. I tune in during stuff like this, and I can't for the life of me understand why people hate you. It's because they believe and agree with stuff like what the guy is saying. I think that's why. No, it's all good. So, ever address this on stream? What is this? Fresh and Fit claim they would own H3 in a debate. What is that from? That's from March, dog. I did address it. Well, let's finish.
You're actually misogynistic and egotistical, and
so that is a win for him because he's playing to his own audience, right? So when you have a woman, ew, yuck, say you're actually misogynistic and egotistical, his audience looks at that and goes, "Oh, you fucking owned her. Like she's just calling you a misogynist because you're just saying uncomfortable truths." Well, the truth is only uncomfortable to you because you are misogynistic, right? It's true, but once again. To most normal people, however, like they will look at this guy and go, yeah, he is misogynistic. So everyone outside is going to look at that and go, yeah, that's true. He is a misogynistic fucking weirdo. I think the other thing to mention here is that he is incredibly insecure. And so is his community of incels. And they basically create value, not intrinsically, and not through confidence, which comes from within, which comes from a collection of experiences or how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your place in society, but instead from really just cultural signifiers and things that you can point to, like having a nice car, things that you can point to, like the clothes you wear, things you can point to, like how many girls you've slept with. And a lot of people will say like, oh, Hasan, you're the same, whatever. It's like, no, there's a difference. I am making jokes about all this other shit, and I don't use that as a way to say like I'm fucking sick. I'm not like, oh, look at my fucking dope car, look how cool I am. No, it's a fucking EV. It's a nice car. I have enough money to pay for it, but it doesn't say anything about me. It doesn't make me a cool person. There are plenty of people with nice ass cars that are horrible people. Okay. It is again, like the clothes you wear do not make you. The cars you drive do not make you. The girls you hook up with do not make you. Okay. And what makes you a confident person is your experiences and how you view the world and what you feel about yourself. If you attach your self-worth to external things like that, will consistently try to build this image. And that's why you see a lot of people go over the top with this bravado. You see a lot of people who can never make fun of themselves. Like Bloodwick is a great example of this. Okay? Bloodwick is an incredibly confident person. He makes fun of himself all the time. Okay? Incredibly confident person, doesn't care. He's very fun to be around, right? That's just how it is. He doesn't need to do fake bravado. He doesn't care. He's like, I come super fast. I don't give a shit, you know? And I really respect that. Okay? I really respect that about him. I've talked about this before. I try to be like that as well, but, you know, sometimes I get really fucking frustrated. It's hard to constantly deal with a barrage of shit. People are trying to make you feel like shit, obviously. But same speech as your old video on Fresh and Fit. Oh, did I talk about this on my last video on Fresh and Fit as well? Okay, well anyway, but these guys, it's very obvious. They're so over the top. They are presenting themselves as this like hyper masculine figure because they are insecure about the way that they are. Deep down inside, when I look at someone like this, when I look at someone who is like, yeah, I'm so good. I'm so fucking masculine, like fuck women, I fuck them and whatever the fuck, right? You're very good at appearing confident, at least in my opinion. I mean, I am confident. I'm confident with who I am. I'm very happy with who I have become over the past 30 years of existence. You know what I mean? I've accomplished goals that I've set for myself. I have I've been able to do things that I always wanted to do, but more importantly, I feel like I'm doing the right thing. You know what I mean? No matter what people try to tell me all the goddamn time on the internet because they're fucking psychotic, I think I'm doing the right thing. It's emotionally, my work is emotionally fulfilling. So yeah, that comes out. That confidence comes out. Even in weak moments, I still have insecurities, obviously, but that's what it is, right? These guys do not have that. I don't think they'll ever have that unless they basically fucking stopped this nonsense and worked on themselves. And it's clear that they've tried working on themselves, but they failed to work on themselves in what actually matters, internally, fixing whatever was fucking broken, right? That's why I feel kind of sad, but it is also funny whenever they behave the way that they do. But I don't know. When I see guys like this, it's so easy for me to spot it. It's so fucking easy for me to spot that this is like insecurity. It's bravado to mask the underlying insecurities that they have about themselves. And it's always other incredibly insecure people that look to that and can't comprehend that this is just pure over the top over the top failed understanding of what masculinity is being thrown back at you and constantly trying to make themselves look good by putting others down, specifically women. And also it's of course profitable as well. So that's another reason why they do this. So, it might be GG's for these guys, okay? It might be GG's for these homies because, they make money off of it and it's like really hard to come back from that. That's why I really respect like content creators who literally go down the fucking right-wing pipeline, but then they stop themselves personally and they're like, you know what the fuck is going on? This is wrong. And literally take a hit and change their attitude, change their behavior, change their minds. I really always respect that. Ethan is a great example of this. And I don't know if these guys will ever do that, but and Ethan was never as bad as these guys anyway. But I don't think these guys are ever going to do that. But their fans might. Their fans might. You know what I mean? You can stop yourself from being like this. I mean, I had a hint of this. Remember the Tucker Max books? Yeah, this shit was popping. The Manosphere stuff was like so commonplace. The Manosphere, the Manosphere stuff was like super, super commonplace. It was like, I hope they serve beer in hell. Like, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff was really routine. And I was one of those fucking cringe weirdos too at a certain point in my life. Like, and luckily I was like, yeah, this shit is fucking awful and cringe, Yeah, the 2012 internet era is like that. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with like being caught in a fucking red pill PUA manosphere fucking thing as long as you can get out of it. You can crawl out of it and become better as a consequence of that. So, but yeah, everything was cringe from 2000 to 2013 if we're being serious, like if we're being real. And then that tied into Gamergate and stuff like that. And it turned into, and then it turned into the manifestation of the alt-right. And now we're seeing that cycle come back again. But, relationships are difficult to parse through, and people want black and white answers, and people want battle lines to be drawn. And because of that, I think a lot of young men feel insecure, and they are desperately seeking advice from others. And especially when you're insecure and young, these are the guys who present themselves in incredibly flashy ways as like successful men. It's easy to get caught into that. It's easy to get caught up with that and then start believing everything that they're saying and think like, no, these guys are living in the right way. A part of my content straight up is to try and show you that like, no, I am, you can be a cool person and be empathetic and that the way that these guys are presenting themselves is actually horrifically insecure. That's what I try to do all the time. makes it endlessly more frustrating when those very same incels in those communities will turn around and try to fucking say I'm, cringe and evil and bad, because it hurts my feelings. Anyway, calling yourself cool indirectly. I mean, I think I'm all right. That is where I started when I was watching online content creators, which led to GRE, Jordan Peterson, Shapiro, etc. I used to listen to these people 5 hours a day. Glad I'm not listening to them anymore. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that is how that works. I mean, that's you go down that fucking pipeline. You're looking for advice. Understandable to be insecure, especially when you're younger, when you haven't formed your entire personality and you're looking to other things to base your personality off of. That's normal, right? But that's also a very malleable time in your life, so that can straight up take you to a deep, dark, and horrible fucking place. And these guys will put you in that place. It will make you into a very insecure person. It will make you more insecure.
It's a kind of a concern the way you view relationships, like you have ownership of women.
Men are territorial.
Is there more to this? I want to see it. The thing that got me out of the alt-right pipeline was a mega Nazi I followed hating Jordan Peterson. Wait, what? Even now insecure than when someone calls you bald ham? Wait, what do you mean, me? When someone calls me bald? Is that what you're talking about? Because I don't... Dude, if you're gonna try to shit on me, at least you can make it like, coherent. Come on, try harder. I did see the clip of them getting yelled at. I think the internet space is going in a good trend overall from the 2010s till now. I'm not saying that cringe misogynistic people do not exist, but it's overall positive in the grand scheme of things. Maybe it's just me and my limited bubble, but at least I'm hopeful. I think there are more content creators on the internet than ever before that are doing a decent job of... I think that they're doing a decent job of like pushing back against this sort of stuff. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter because like the systems itself are still unchanged, right? But it is what it is. When liberals take power, though, it does certainly get... When liberals take power, it certainly does come... It goes back to the old way of operating, where I do see that right-wing manosphere shit pop off again. For example, one of the most common things is like, the unrolling, basically, of LGBT rights, abortion protections, things of that nature, and also the subsequent the subsequent internet the internet commentary club going around and saying like you're a fucking groomer if you believe that gay teachers can talk about being gay or openly be queer in school. Like that's not that's insane. But we're there now. That's where we're at. We trapped in the cyclical sauce. Now the battle is to unroll progressive policies and back and forth until the predominant sphere is conservative because the left can't be aggressive. Yeah. When the Democrats win, men will be insecure. No, men are insecure. And so are women too, but specifically if we're talking about men are insecure. It doesn't matter who is winning or who is losing. It's just men are insecure. And if they don't find a way to channel that insecurity into something positive, they can go down in their endless search to become better people. They can be led astray. Everyone is insecure. It's normal to be insecure. It's what you do. I'm insecure. You know what I mean? I have a lot of insecurities. I talk about them openly, and then people fucking weaponize them against me because they're psychos. It's just, it is what it is, you know? You can go down a really seedy, deep, dark path that is impossible to get out of, and before you know it, you're like, what the fuck happened in my life? Like, why am I sad all the time? It's like cigarettes, you know what I mean? You wake up and you have to fucking smoke a cigarette, and you're like, oh, I hate this, you know what I mean? Now I'm doing this to survive almost. You can feel that way about the content that you consume and the ideas that you have. You can find yourself, before you know it, in a deep, dark area where people are constantly reinforcing some of the worst attitudes that you have, some of the worst feelings that you have. Or you can try to find a positive space on the internet. Yeah. For me, exercising has always been a really good way to get out of that. When I find myself accomplishing